Welcome to the summit, Peace Beyond Understanding. And I can introduce you now to Rose Roes. Hi, Rose.
Hi, Susan. Hello.
And welcome
Mm,
to the summit. And you are
thanks.
a non duality speaker, and
Mm,
you point to the truth of what we are, our essential nature, our true nature. And then you're also a writer. You wrote a book. It's in Dutch, but hopefully it'll be in English
yeah.
as well. Can you speak about it
Mm.
briefly? Or?
But it's difficult to say something about it because that what is said in the book is just repeatedly just saying like what there is just this, but then there are little stories around it and saying that the book is not important because nothing is important. So some sentences are like that, and but it's only in Dutch, and I'm trying to send. I did send it to an English publisher, but I don't think they want it. So I'm still trying to get an English version.
Yeah.
Maybe it will happen.
And what's the title of your book?
The title in Dutch it's Wonderlijk Vrij, and if you translate it, I think it's more wondrously free, something like that. So it's amazingly, wondrously free.
Yeah.
That's the title. Hmm.
And that what it is when you know yourself as your nature. You are free, you could say. That's the freedom that's always pointed to, or the peace beyond.
No. It's not at all that. Sorry,
Okay,
it's not. There's no. That's no. That it's such a different thing. It's not that I have. There's no free. I don't see a free nature. I don't see that because there's no one. So it's not about me anymore. There's no one, but it's never has been someone. That's so clear that there's never has been someone, and it's not that in this body there is no one. It's it's worse than that. You can say that because the body is not real. It's real and unreal. So this is talking about something that is not real, only apparently real. So it can't be understood. This is really beyond understanding, and it doesn't talk about nature because there's no my true nature. There's no my. So there is no true nature. Everything is it. So that's the joy that it's just everything. There's nothing excluded. So
yeah.
that's a short introduction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So it's everything. Nothing is excluded. So it's the body, it's the thoughts, it's the feelings, it's the world, it's life, it's just everything.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's just this, and that maybe you heard it a lot of time. But this is not very something special. This is everything what is seen, what is felt, but there's no outside. So there's also no world. There can be. There seems to be a world when we live in this, and normally we live in the story of me. I am someone, and you are someone, and now we relate and there's something happening outside and things like that. That's in the story. But that's a dream. The story is just an abstraction of thoughts that there is happening something outside because we are really, as humans, we are able to abstract. So we can think about there's something outside, but that's only an abstract thought. What really is there, or apparently real, but okay, that what's there is just what's seen. So there's only that room. That's it. There's no outside the room. There's also no inside. And that's weird because we are so convinced there's a body and it's solid. When there's someone, then there's always a really, it's not only a belief, it's so embodied, it's so normal that we think we have a body and there's somebody inside, something like that. And the body is solid. The body and what is seen is that the body isn't solid, but there's also nothing inside. That's what we can abstract, that we know in some way, or we remember that somebody has showed us that there's something inside. So we believe, oh, there's something inside that body. But this message is so literally, it's just what it's seen. So it's seen that maybe that face, and that's it. So there's no Rose. There seems to be a Rose, and we are talking about Rose or Susan or anyone. Still in the story, I'm talking like that, of course. But in this message, there's no Rose. There's just talking, and that's it. There's a face happening, but it's no one's face. It's no one's talking.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. You can't understand. It's crazy, but it's also so free because nothing is happening. It seems like there's a story or there's something going on outside the world or in relationships, or we're always busy with all those things. And this is so simple. It's just too simple in a way, because it's just what's happening. And that's what's happening is maybe moving a hand, and it's when there's sound, you don't even know where the sounds come from. But also when there are feelings, we are so convinced that the feelings are happening in our or in the body. Feelings are just happening in space. It's not happening in the body. We are so, how do you say, it's so educated in that, or so that when you grow up, it's just a normal way of thinking, so we believe, and it's not a belief anymore, it seems like the truth. And then suddenly there are some things are falling away, because that's what's happened here, that it's just there's a loss of everything, and that loss, that means that nothing left, and really nothing left. And in the same time, there's apparently everything. There's just seeing a face or everything, and just talking in the story still goes on. It doesn't, but nothing matters anymore, because it's not real. It's only apparently real. It's the joy. It's such a freedom. It's so simple. There's nothing going on about what did I do yesterday? Oh, what is gone? Oh, what the dream of, like, oh, I did that yesterday, and what did I say to that? Oh, I could have said it maybe differently. All those thoughts, they don't appear anymore. I don't know why. It's just not coming. It's just what it is, and can be anything. It can also be irritation, or fear, or anything, or it's not joy all the time, or happiness. That's talking about the state of someone. And this is life. This is everything. So everything what happens is it. And it doesn't matter what it is. The strange thing is, there's even not, when a lot of times we were talking about, there are bad feelings and good feelings, something like that. But I saw, like, there are no bad and good feelings. They're just feelings. So maybe there's pain. And the strange thing is, there's nothing coming up trying to change that. And normally when there's pain or irritation or anger, I don't know, there's always something going on, like, oh, what is that? What can I do about it? Or trying to deal with it, something like that. There's always trying to deal with everything. That's when there's someone. When that's gone, there's just what's going on. There's just pain. And the strange thing, and that's also very crazy, pain is there and it's not in the same time. You can't explain it. That's I find it's amazing. And then nothing needs to change. There's no need to change. And it's just not a choice or something like that. It's just happening like that. It's just by itself. That's life. Life is everything. Life is everything. So there's no good or bad. That's the joy. There's no good or bad. Whoa, that's amazing, because we are so educated. There's something missing, or something wrong, or something maybe not right yet, or we have to educate people or learn something. And this message is about, no, nothing needs to be learned. It's already complete. It's already complete in what it is, and it doesn't matter what it is. It's already complete. Nothing needs to change. That's amazing. That's the freedom.
Yeah, freedom. Yeah. It sounds very free, and and it's also, it sounds very peaceful, because it's like, okay, whatever happens happens, and you're in peace with what happens in life. But there's no you.
Yeah, but it's in yeah, there's nothing trying to do something with that. But irritation is, some people, yeah, I can't, some people would say, but irritation, when there's irritation, then that's not peaceful. But even irritation is just, it's really, and it's maybe stronger than ever, than before that all did go on. But in the same time, when there's nothing trying to change it, then there's something else. There's something else about it. But I can't say what it is, but it's just different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's still irritation. It's not sitting and then saying, oh, everything is okay. No, not at all. No. It's just very human. Like a child. Like a child, like whoa, anger, playing, anything. It's just like that. Yeah. It's the same thing, I think. There's no awareness. That's also, it's just very normal. So I forget, or you forget that it was there. And when people talk about awareness, about all those thoughts about what's going on and what needs to happen, and thinking about what was there yesterday, or what needs to be done, or things like that. When that's not there, it doesn't matter. That's very strange. We think it's so important to think about things and deal with that, and it isn't. It's just a dream. It's amazing. It seems the most important thing of the whole day, and it is just nothing. Because that what's happening, it's just happening by itself already. It always has been like that. That's the laughter also. We are so busy. I was so busy with trying and doing and anything. And it's just happening by itself. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah.
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 So it's like everything is as before, you could say, when it felt like there was somebody there for you, but it's just
Yeah.
it's just happening on its own, and life just happens, and you are not in there kind of arguing with life or resisting it, or because there's no one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it's just loss. This is about loss also, and we are so always trying to reach something, to get something, to do something, to get no me anymore or something. Because we want to have, when there's suffering, you want to get rid of the suffering, and then you look. Most people are looking, and then maybe there was therapy. I did a lot of therapy, but no, that fell away too. And then there was non-duality. I was like, oh, I know the me. That's the cause of all the trouble. So I didn't want no me anymore. That was also my search. And then you think, I'm going to something. I'm going to it, but this is about loss. And there was also a time there was some sadness because everything was lost. Just the normal way of how relating and people and everything really important, it's just not there. So there was a time for, yeah, there was a sadness that everything was lost. And then the joy, and there comes something else too, but yeah. So, but it's also very easy. It's the most easiest thing because there's not so much going on, but life's very easy.
Yeah.
And simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not special. Not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody. I thought always when this will happen, everybody will see it. That has a certain energy or something. No, nobody sees it. It's just normal.
Yeah, and that was also.
There's nothing special about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
That is very obvious and ordinary, and yeah, there's nothing special about it as such. That's just
no.
thinking, oh, it's special, or is joyful.
That's what you want. Yeah, that's what me wants. So since I did want that, something special that people look up to you and say, oh wow, wow, something like that. Oh God, yeah. But that's, and still people do, but it is not. Yeah, some people can do that still here to me or something. Well, it's just nothing. It's just, there's no need for confirmation or no. That's nothing. It doesn't need to be confirmed or heard. Doesn't matter if somebody is hearing it or not hearing it. There's no one. So there's no one. That's why it started teaching. There's already no one. There's not here only here, no one. And I'm talking to all those me's. No, there never has been someone anywhere. So where do we talk to? There's already no one. So there's just talking to people. It seems to be talking to people and they react, but it's just nothing going on. It's not. It's the same as talking in a meeting or at the bus stop. It's just that. Yeah. Nothing is special. Yeah. There's no agenda also. Doesn't matter what's going on. It's not thinking about what's going on or what I have to say. Or it's just coming out. Sometimes when people ask questions, and they're talking, and then sometimes there's still something going on, like, I don't know. What can I say about that? I don't know. And then it stops, and then suddenly just there comes something, and I'm really like, oh, it's just coming, something like that. And that it's always like that. It's not special here. It's always like that. It's coming from nothing, just talking words. We think, I'm doing this. It's not yours or mine. It never has been like that. That's the strange thing. Yeah. That's sometimes also difficult for people because hell, there's so much investment in how you live your life and what you have done and what you're doing now and that you do now the right thing and things like that. There's so many going on about that. And then people say you don't exist. Yeah, hello. That's just my life. I thought also, that's my life. I'm doing anything to make it feel better. But it's always about me, of course. And then it's suddenly obvious there is just no my life. It's just happening by itself without any meaning. Oh, no meaning. Oh,
yeah, that's a big one because we always, it's like we are meaning making.
Yeah.
We like to somehow sound very empty or well, empty too.
Yeah, that's it. But it is empty. It is empty. But the strange thing is when that whole dream of trying to make it happen and trying to make sense of it and things like that, when that falls away, it's empty, but it's full in the same time. But it can't be seen then when it's going on like, when there's a fear for emptiness or for nothing, there's just a fear for nothing or empty. So it's seen like, oh, that's the dark spot or something like that. And when it falls away, because you don't go through there, that's just always, it just happens or doesn't happen. You can't let go or something like. And then when that falls away, it's just like, oh, it's just full and empty and full in the same time. That's the crazy also. It's nothing to be afraid of. You can say that to somebody, but that is nothing. That's just words. But it is like that.
Yeah.
It's empty, but yeah, so what? That's the freedom too, that then nothing is happening. It's just empty. I remember I was walking and then I was just walking through the stones. I was like, oh, that was so frightening. And in the same time, it was like, oh, like just goes on. Everything just goes on. So nothing special is happening. That was one of the first times when some moments of awakening. It was like, ooh, and then it was just normal again.
So is that how it
Yeah.
happened for you? It was like moments of awakening, and then suddenly you completely.
Yeah. Yeah, there was several moments that it was just, for example, I was sitting in the garden and suddenly there was no body, no physical body anymore. I didn't see that. And I was like, oh, it's very strange. And then I walked I was like, oh, I have to drink coffee to get it back. And I was drinking coffee, but this was such, and then oh, it was back again. But it was then still, it was after that, it was still very weird. It was like, oh, it's not, because I was so convinced the body is always there. It's always there. And then suddenly it wasn't. And still there was thoughts going on or seeing the garden, and that had such an impact. And I was talking to, I was a lot of time with Tony Parsons, and then he said to me, oh, you get used to it. So, and that's true. It doesn't matter, but it's when it's happening for the first time, it's like, ooh, that has a huge impact.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I was in the sauna, and then just thinking about everything, the normal way of everybody, and then suddenly I didn't even see that there's no one anymore. Like that was not that it wasn't like that. There was something gone. That was the only thing I think I knew, and everything was very clear. Also, it was like, oh, it's like this, and then, but I didn't know that there was no me anymore. So that's also strange. And I was trying to, the normal way, what I was doing always is trying, when there was fear or some feelings in the body, I thought I was trying to process it and trying to think about it and do something with that.
Like
I still was trying to pick up when there was thoughts, I was picking it up, trying to work on it or do something with it. And then after a while, I was like, oh, I was trying to do that. It didn't work anymore. It's not, so it just was gone. That whole structure about trying to deal with it and trying to make something happen or trying to think about things, it didn't work. It does, and still doesn't. It doesn't work anymore. So it's not that there's nothing about choice, or like it's very clear that it doesn't need, that I don't need to do that. I can't do that, and it's just not working. It's just not there anymore.
Yeah.
So that thinking about what's going on yesterday, it's just not happening.
It's just not
by itself.
Yeah.
So that it's very easy. But a friend of mine was just some weeks ago. We were just talking, and she's really into therapy and things like that. And I told something what happened. I can't remember so much what. And they said, that's good to look at it and then work on it, because that's something to process. And in that time I said, oh, okay, and something like that. And then I was trying. I couldn't do it anymore. It was just, I didn't know how to do it. It was amazing. And then I forgot, it doesn't matter, but it's amazing that it's not an ability, or it's just a loss of that awareness, that whole survival system can just drop away by itself for no reason. And and people don't see it. It's, of course, they don't see anything, because normal what people see is just me and you talking, and we have a lot of thoughts about what's going on there. But that's just two bodies talking. There's just sound going on. Yeah.
Yeah, it does sound very similar. Yeah. In a way, it's almost like it frees up a lot of space. Like,
yeah, that's it. There's just nothing. And there seems to be apparently bodies, and there's sound going on. That's just life in a very chaotic and way. And we try to control, and that's people that the me has an awareness and thinking about what's going on, and I want to feel good because there's something when there's separation and when there's a me and feeling of separation of being not being two. It's always about two, good and bad and me and you and everything. And there's somewhere just looking for that oneness, that something we don't know what it was, but there's something missing. There's something else. Sometimes somewhere there's a search for that, and some people are more sensible for it, and then other people, of course. And then I forgot already what I was going. It's a long way for what I was saying.
Yeah, but it is when
It was like
when there's that empty free space because
yeah.
So it's like I can see how life is so much easier and you're in the present moment, right? But what
there
about
is no present moment. There is no present moment. That's also very, very easy because there is no moment. That's also an abstracting from what we normally do, that there are moments and this is before that, and there's no time. There's also no moments. There's only this, and that's always new. So there's only talking, and then there's moving ahead. Not and there's only moving ahead. There's no before. There never was a past. Also, that we can't think about that. You can't understand that there is nothing before and nothing after. We're so used to moments and time and before and after and consequences. There are no consequences. There's only this. That's the innocence. There's always only innocence. So there's no responsibility. There's no one. So that's the freedom, and it's so convincing that there's someone and responsibility, and we have to look at each other and wanting to feel good. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. That really, that strong feeling, that wanting to feel good and not wanting the pain, or because we're thinking we're looking for paradise, and we're thinking paradise is that we're always happy, something like that. So we want to do with the tools we have, like the thoughts, and that we think, oh, we can make it happen that I am safe, I'm in paradise, and that's such a struggle and such a suffering, because it never is ending, it never stops, it's always going on, because it's always not really it. So because it's not in the story, and the only thing what me can do, what people can do with the feeling or the thinking I am someone, there's only a story, and with events, and I'm here and I can do that, and I want to, maybe what I want or what I need or everything's going, but it's in the story with other people, and this, it's not in the story. It has nothing to do with the story. That's outside understanding. So me doesn't like that, because it wants to understand and wants to get control and try to do, because doing is the only thing me has. To do, not to do, what can I do, what can I not do, how can I make it happen? And there's no control. And the funny thing is, there never was control. There never was control. That whole system, like, oh, I want to do this, and a lot of thinking, and then then it will start, or it will go well, or I don't eat sugar anymore, then I will feel better, or things like that. It's just a dream. It has no power at all. It's amazing. It's put so much effort. I did that too. So much effort in it. And it's just gone. It's just nothing. And life is just going like that, as always. And it's just added on that. But okay, that's life too, of course. It's amazing. Wow. Yeah.
It's interesting that all that me and story is going on when it's not even there. in the first place.
Yeah,
How is that
yeah,
possible? It's for that to happen then.
yeah.
Not even real.
Yeah, but it's so convincing. We're so early from such an early age. It's so there seems to be then suddenly there seems to be two. That's the brain it can abstract like little children when they're really little that there's no they can't abstract, and when they are maybe 2 3 years old they can understand that's abstracting that there's something behind that door or something like that. Little children don't see something else, don't see that there's something behind. They just hide like this because they don't, yeah, they see that when I'm not there now. That's little children. It's amazing. And then when they're just older, they understand some that abstract thinking, and then there comes there's suddenly there's two, and there's a mother and a father and a world, and it's important to behave in a certain way, and da 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 da. It goes on,
Yeah.
and that's embodied. That's so embodied. So it's most people don't question there's a me. It's just normal. It's just normal. And I have a choice, and that's so strong. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, that's yeah.
it's part of life, maybe for the survival of the human species. You know, like it's like, how can we survive if we don't know two? It's almost like, how can I eat if I don't know there's a fork there and here's my body and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's always about I have to deal with everything. I have to do it. I have to do it. Otherwise it will not happen. So that's I exist. That's confirming all the time I exist. And that's it's such a fear for nothing. So it's running away from nothing and just trying to make it happen and control that my life and that I will survive. That's the survival system is such a strong thing. That's so embodied. It's just energetic. It has nothing to do with thinking, or it's just more energetic. So you can't think yourself out of it. It's no, it's something else. Yeah.
and
But
you're
everything is life.
surviving.
Yeah.
You're still surviving, you know, even though you don't have,
Yeah.
you are like not to, or your life is like that. You're still surviving. You still know
Yeah.
how to eat, and you still know how to act in the world or survive. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some acting and some doing, and I don't know what will happen, but nobody knows. So nobody knows, and I'm not busy with what is good for me to eat or something. Maybe there can be a thought like that, of course, but it's not important. Yeah, something. Yeah, that's strange, and that's also maybe the character also there, but there's nothing going on about that.
Yeah, maybe
But
you
I
just,
don't know what's come. Maybe tomorrow there is a car crushing and there's no Rose anymore. Maybe I don't know. That's life. That's for always like that. It always been like that.
yeah,
So then we think we're looking for reason. Why is that happening, and how can I prevent that will happen or something?
yeah,
It's just life. Yeah.
yeah,
Life is not interested in me. In some people, when they're winning a game, they're thanking God or life. Life's not interesting in some persons, some individuals. It doesn't see an individuals. There are no individuals. It's just energy. Seems like a body, and then table, and body or table or coffee or feelings. Just happening like that. No, no, there are no individuals. We are so convinced that we are an individual. It's just body and then hand and then uh, a mouse. It's just that.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
And just that,
Nothing is important. Well, yeah.
yeah, it doesn't matter
Hmm.
what happens. That's also an expression.
No,
Yeah, yeah, it
no, it doesn't matter. And you don't, it doesn't mean that you walk around and saying, oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, no, that's the concept. It has nothing to do with this. It's just that's because it's just a life. It's just, that can be very much irritation. And you're sitting like this, of course, that can happen. It's not say, but that doesn't matter that happens. Then there's irritation. So then it can be very strong and then it's gone. Then that happens. It's not saying all the time, oh, I don't know. A lot of people make something of that non-duality and saying, oh, but I don't know. No, I don't know. Or that doesn't matter. Or life, it's just, it is what it is. So, that makes it so flat. That's not what I'm talking about. It doesn't, there's no mentioning what's going on. It's not mentioning, oh, nothing matters. That's when they're talking in a meeting or with you, then they're saying that. But in normal life, that's just what's happening. So nothing is commented. There's no comment on that. That's it.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
irritation without reason, or I don't know why. I really don't know why. But I'm not interested also.
Right. It just happens and then that's it. There's not a whole story made
Yeah, that's
about
it.
it, a
Yeah.
description about it. Or,
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. It's very simple, very ordinary also. Just sitting in the garden or walking, just very doing the shopping. Just an ordinary life, not so much special things.
Yeah. And I wonder if, let's say, I live like that I just, I stop describing everything, I stop labeling, I just kind of, let, as things happens, I'm like, not putting any importance to anything as such, but just letting life happen. Will I fall away suddenly? So I'll be like you, where I'm not there anymore. Like, can I do something?
No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. It's not like that. The people are always comparing. They think what I am, and then they compare that with themselves. There's no Rose, so there's nothing to compare. So that's nonsense. What the strange thing is, what me can't hear is that it's exactly what it is right now. The way Susan moves, that the way that's saying, the way that's it already. There's already no me. It's already complete. It's the way it talks. It's the way it moves. It's the way it looks. It's that already. So finish. Nothing needs to happen. Nothing needs to change. Of course not. It's just that's life already. And when there are thoughts like, oh, I want to change that, then there are thoughts, but it's not you thinking that. It's just life thoughting. And that's just going on. When they're feeling like, but I'm still me, then there's that thought, or maybe a feeling like that, or maybe there's stress or contraction. Then there's contraction. That's just life happening for no one. So it's already complete.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's also wonderful to know that it's like, okay, it's just a matter of recognizing it's already complete. Or it's, there's no one.
There's something added, and that's me, is like, oh yes, but, and then it goes on, because that's so deeply embodied. There's something wrong, or something missing, or you can't put that away. That when that's going on, then that's going on. Then there will always be a but somewhere, or trying, or something. That's the end. That's energetic. That has nothing to do with you. It's just an energetic, moving, thinking, things going on, and then falling away, and then again. It's just life. So nothing needs to change. There's no need. But when there's a feeling I want to change, then that's life thinking or doing that. So that's also the completeness. So it can't be wrong. It can't be not complete. It's just life already. But
Yeah.
for the me, it's like, yeah, yeah, but, and oh, that's the frustration sometimes also. Because it can't hear it. It can't, in some way, it can't hear it. And it's about, it's energetic. It's not about understanding or hearing. It's about something energetic.
Yeah.
It goes on till it stops. Yeah. And it's already complete. There's nothing wrong. Of course not. It can't be wrong. It's just life. It's already unconditional love. Unconditional. It's just unconditional. That means that it's everything. Nothing is excluded. It's not, oh, this is it not, and that is it. You can't, when there's non-duality, you can't go to a therapist because that's not non-dual. That's bollocks. When there's going to a therapy, then that's going to, so what? Why not? Then that's life, or taking an aspirin, or something. That's medicines. It's everything.
Yeah. So
Ooh,
even
everything.
the me,
God.
yeah, and the me is also included, you could say. Um, the being the
Yeah,
me,
thinking.
the
The
same,
belief.
and yeah, so there's nothing wrong with the me as such, but you could say for this body mind not to have the me, there would be a life of more freedom somehow. The contraction would be gone, or it wouldn't be there as much, or
Yeah,
something.
but that's the dream. That's the dream. The dream is that there will be a change, and then I feel more free, or I feel more. Everybody has a different thing that they want, more together, or one. But the contraction is it. That's the life. That's what you're looking for. It's just that sensation. It's just that. It's life. It's unconditional love. It's just that. There's nothing wrong with a contraction, or maybe you think, oh, that contraction is the me. Then there's those thoughts with that. But that's it. That's life. That has nothing to do with there's a me that has to be gone. Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
but when there's someone, there will always be a yeah, but there's some frustration then still. I'm not satisfied, or there's something,
Yeah.
there's
Like
always something like that.
missing,
Yeah.
or it's just like
Mm,
that's the thing
yeah.
about me, the contraction and
Mm,
me feeling, and the me here and the world out there and you out there. It's like there's always something missing, and we want it to be fulfilled by
yeah.
looking at all this,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
what we want to be not feeling anymore by being like you, where
Yeah.
no one was actually really a lived
Yeah.
experience as being no one.
Yeah, but that's the misunderstanding that that how can I say that it's there's feeling like me. It's there is no one. So there is it's there's always comparing and thinking a rose has a certain way of freedom, or has something I don't have, or something like that. It's not like that. But it can't be understood, and that's something that it's just the same. There's nothing different. It's just the same. That's so difficult. It's impossible to understand that, because the me is so convinced that there's a comparing, and there's something wrong with what's going on, or there's something missing, or then it can't see it's the same. It just sees always that there's something missing, and it doesn't matter what I'm saying, or I can say it 20 times, and then still there's a feeling of, yeah, but there's still a feeling of missing, and there's some frustration, there's a feeling of dissatisfaction. No, that's not the same as you have. It will always be like that. And when I say it's a misunderstanding, it can't. it's not her. And then maybe it's her. It's energetic. So that can be such a strong energy that not understand, not hearing, because that's so strong, that feeling of missing or there's something wrong. It's not only in the head. It's not only that you think there's something wrong. It's stronger than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the whole body feels like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in everything. It's in everything. God. Yeah. Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
It's just neutral. It's just neutral. But that's amazing. Yeah. But yeah. Mm.
oh wow. Yeah. Well,
Mm.
thank you so much, Rose. And your
Yeah.
website, so people can find you and events.
Yeah, that's also difficult to pronounce for people. It's www. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know the words. It's rosemarijnroes.nl, but it's my whole name. Rose. I think Rose Roes will do it too. That then you can find it also.
Yeah.
But my whole name is on the website also.
Yeah.
I think roseroes.nl. I think it will work. So you can see. And now I have some events. I have some Zoom events every 2 weeks on the Sunday in English, and even some in French. That's for other people. And but after the 4th of July there will be the last one, and then I have I think 2 months, something like a summer break. So in September I will go on, and then maybe with live meetings, I hope, but also with the Zoom I will go on. We'll see what happens.
Yes, that's good. So people around the world can attend as well. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Great. You're organizing those days. Do you do that every month, or you
Yeah,
do that often?
yes, it's quite often, as long as I can. And now, right now, I'm able to and have the opportunity. So yeah, so see what
Okay,
happens.
great. Yeah, great. You do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's beautiful everything you said, and it's very clarifying in many ways. There are
Okay.
it's there. It's easy to understand, and it's easy. Yeah, it's not easy to talk about it. That's the thing, right?
No.
It's easy for you.
Yeah,
But
sure.
it's not easy to understand, and at the same time, it's so simple and ordinary. And
Yeah, that's the strange thing. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, sure. That's very strange. Yeah. It's too simple. Yeah.
yeah, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for questioning, for asking me. That was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.